Technology is not only part of your daily life, but it's an essential element for your child's education. That means that digital and online safety is more important than ever. During this video, you will learn about the platforms the Everett Public Schools is using for its e-education remote learning model, and the best ways to ensure that you and your students' privacy. We encourage you to watch this video as a family, as the guidance is equally as important for parents and caregivers as it is for students. First and foremost, let's quickly identify the online and digital platforms, products most commonly used by the teachers during e-education. Clever, Google Classroom, Zoom, ResKids, iReady, Footsteps to Brilliance, BrainPop, ClassDojo, Extra Math. This is not a complete list, but you should be aware that these are the platforms most commonly used by the teachers across all grade levels. You should regularly review the privacy settings on your devices, whether you're using a Chromebook, a laptop, or a personal computer. Quite often, settings changes from on to off and vice versa, and the only way you will know this is by reviewing the privacy settings on your computer. Monitor your settings carefully, particularly as they relate to the sharing of information. Also, parents and caregivers should keep an eye out for age requirements and restrictions on certain websites. These guidelines are in place for a reason. It is useful to put your name into a Google search to identify what information about yourself is readily available on the internet. Finally, parents should regularly review the history of their student's computer to ensure they are logging in to appropriate websites. Protect your password. This is a basic but critical element of digital safety. Do not share your password with anyone, and students should only share passwords with caregivers and parents. No matter how busy you are, always take the time to create passwords that a stranger might not be able to guess based on basic information, such as birthdays, addresses, and family names.
Protect personal information. Be mindful of what you post online. Once something has been posted, it is very difficult to delete. Everything you post online leaves a footprint. These are things that college admission departments, employers may have access to. Stranger danger. The information we share online is like a puzzle. The more information we share about ourselves, the easier it is for strangers to know where to find us. So when you tell your children, do not talk to strangers, we need to stress this applies on internet as well in public. Do not send pictures to anyone online. Students should immediately inform an adult if someone asks them to take a picture, to go ahead and send them photos. Students should also let an adult know if there's anything that anybody says, such as make a phone call, meet me in person, reveal personal information about themselves or their family. They should never share their home phone number, school information, address, or personal information with a stranger. Bullying. If you see something that doesn't seem right, make sure to report it to an adult. Parents, keep in mind any child can be a perpetrator or a victim. One thing to look out is for secretive behavior. If your student is hiding their device as you're passing by, you may want to take a look at it. Also, keep out an eye for changes in eating habits, sleeping patterns. This could also be indications that a bullying situation is happening. Consider having a computer and phone charging stations outside of your child's bedroom, so that at night it limits the time that they have access to technology when instructional school day is not happening, at those moments when they have direct supervision. When your kid comes to you with a problem, take a deep breath and understand that it's hard for them to come to you, to come and ask for help. Listen to them and make a decision about what to do after you listen. With everything going on in the world today, online learning is at the forefront of education. It is important to know the right safety measures to take in order to ensure the safe access of education.
Now, let's talk about the devices that students are using every day. Your computer. It's important to advise your children regarding what they should and should not download to a computer. Adults are regularly duped by fake software and spam, so imagine how difficult it is for kids to determine what might be harmful. The best practice is to download files only from trusted sources. When in doubt, install a site advisor to help decide if a download site is trustworthy or not. As an extra precaution, encourage your children to consult you before they download any unfamiliar files. Chromebooks issued by the Everett Public Schools should be used only for school and learning purposes. Any instructional resources necessary for learning will be explicitly explained by our teachers. Feel free to ask your child teachers or a family liaison anytime you don't recognize an online program or platform, or your child is requesting or using an application you have concerns with. You are likely aware that your child accesses e-education by using a program called Clever. Some students enter Clever by signing in with their Everett Gmail account, while others use a Clever badge. Clever is like a virtual backpack where all of your child's schoolwork is stored. Students also use Clever to access their teacher's Zoom classes. Clever badges should never be shared with another student, either physically or via a photograph. If you share a Clever badge by accident or suspect it has been shared without your knowledge, please contact your child's teacher immediately. Email. Just like your Clever badge, it is imperative that students refrain from sharing their EPS email password with anyone other than parents and caregivers. Email passwords can be reset by school principals. If you are concerned that your email password has been compromised, contact your principal immediately. As with your computer, in general, you should monitor the sharing settings and preferences on your email account. 3 good rules of thumb are as follows. 1. Do not click on unknown links. They could be harmful to the computer and could be an attempt by someone to gather information you do not want to share. 2. Check your email daily and make sure you are up to date with the information that has been shared with you by your teacher and school. 3. Emails from teachers and all EPS staff will end with @everett.k12.ma.us. If you don't see this at the end of the email address, be careful, particularly about sharing information.
In order to enter a Zoom session with a teacher, students need to click the link that is sent to them. Do not share this link with others. The teacher is responsible for sharing this link with the students who are expected to attend the class. When you enter a Zoom meeting, you will need to provide your name, which will be displayed on the participant screen. You must use your first and last name. Any student who enters a Zoom session with a false name will be reported to the assistant principal. School principals can see all of the students' devices. They can see the information when Zoom classroom is taking place. If an individual writes something inappropriate in the Zoom chat or says something inappropriate during class, the principal is able to identify the user. To keep a good online class environment, follow these guidelines. Open your camera if you feel comfortable. Take a look at your surroundings. Try to pick a blank wall or a relatively uncluttered background that won't be a distraction to others. You must turn on your camera when attendance has been taken, so teachers will know you're ready to participate. Keeping your microphone on mute, only on mute when it is your turn to talk. This will eliminate echoes and other distracting sounds. Raise your hand when you want to ask a question.
EPS hotspots.
This internet device provided by the district should only be used by EPS students. Do not share the password with neighbors, friends, or roommates. Thank you for your attention. We hope you have found this information helpful. If we work together to follow these tips, we know we can create a positive online learning community that is effective and safe for all.